want something you've never had, do something you've never done.
The other comfort zone, which is probably the biggest in the world, is racial comfort zones. And we do a lot of work with racial comfort zones, with diversity and so forth. But think about it. Most of the time, we'll go to school together, we'll go to work together. But the biggest thing and where I hang out at is in the lunchrooms of America. And it never fails. Go to your lunchroom next time and check it out. Most of the time, what you're going to see is black people in one corner, white people in another corner, Hispanics over here, the Asians over here. Everybody's in their own little racial comfort zones. And why is that? Because people like to be with folks who look like them, talk like them, act like them, and so forth. So when it comes time to eat, that's where they congregate. Now, we're getting better. The younger generations are getting better. But if you go into lunchrooms in corporate America, if you go into lunchrooms in the colleges, if you go into lunchrooms in the high school and the middle schools, you'll see that there is still a big divide. It's almost like on Sunday. There's still a big divide. Now, is that good or is that bad? It's nothing. It's just we don't know because we congregate to what we do know. So in order to challenge ourselves, we have to be able to say, okay, I'm not going to sit with the same people. Let me go introduce myself to other people. And that is one of the probably the hardest human interaction tax that we have is that we don't like, as human beings, to meet new people. I mean, we can walk down the street and see somebody and not even look in their eyes. Next time you walk down the street and you see somebody coming towards you, look dead in their eyes. You know what they're going to do? Just like that. Just like that. It's human nature. So now how do we change that? The only people who are able to change that are the ones who are cognizant of it. The ones who say, I know that this person's not going to talk to me, so let me talk to them. Yeah. But that's the only way we can come outside of our zone of comfort. But those racial comfort zones, they can keep us apart if you let it. Now before I went to Alexandria, Virginia, where I went to school in high school. My dad was in the Army, 27 years. But before I went there, I was in a place called Heritage High School in Littleton, Colorado. And at Heritage High School, they had 2,000 kids in that school. And out of those 2,000 kids, there were 2 blacks in that whole school. My sister and me. That was it. So at Heritage High School, I was walking like white kids. I had a part in my hair like some of my white friends had. I don't have it in there now. But, I mean, y'all think we came over from Africa on the boat with parts in our hair? No, we learned it from the environment that we were in. So my mom knew that all the white kids had parts in their hair, so she started brushing my hair all this way and stuff, so I had a part in my hair. Here it was, though. Alexandria, Virginia, we had to move. Dad was in the Army. I looked out the window. We were on Van Dorn Street looking out on the Van Dorn apartments. And I saw 2 yellow buses coming on Van Dorn Street. And on those 2 yellow buses were nothing but black kids. And I'm looking out the window and I'm saying, holy cow. I said, look at all them black kids. I said, Mama, I'm not going to school. You say, how in the world can you be afraid of your own race? But let's think about it. Back in the day, I used to watch a lot of TV, late 60s, early 70s. I know y'all don't watch a lot of TV. But on TV, they taught us that blacks were murderers and drug addicts and rapists. So when I saw a whole bunch of them together, I was scared to death. But here's what happened in Alexandria, Virginia. Now think about it. In Alexandria, Virginia, I had to come to school, and we couldn't change our clothes. We had 5 in the family. And in those 5, we had mom and dad, 7 altogether. Mom was Italian. She couldn't speak English, so we couldn't get anything out of her. Dad ran the family, period. So here we are moving to Alexandria, Virginia. We could not buy new clothes. He's the only one working. So my first day in Alexandria, Virginia at T.C. Williams High School, I had to come in. I had these tight black silk pants on, and they had glow-in-the-dark flowers on the pockets. Y'all know, doggone well, y'all used to wear the same thing. I had these tight black silk shirt on with big vases on it with flowers and so forth on it. And I had those platform shoes. But I was ready to come to school my first day. And the only way that I learned how to be black was through a TV show I used to watch called Starsky and Hutch. Only one black guy on Starsky and Hutch. Huggy Bear, that was him. That's it. So here I am, my first day of school at T.C. Williams High School, and I saw the buses, and I remember Huggy Bear, and here's how I come to school my first day, just like this. Y'all might have seen this somewhere. I came in just like this. Coach Little, they said, if this is the biggest Bama, if this isn't the biggest clown that we've seen in the world, my best friend today, matter of fact, he's the printer of my book called Speaking to Excel, He's a printer now, but Vernon Adams I went to school with, he pulled me aside. He said, James, if you're going to come into T.C. Williams High School with these tight black pants on that were high waters, they were way up here. He said, James, do not wear those white socks like that, man. I had to get fashion from my boy. But here it is, and here's the truth, that in America we have pockets of people that live in towns and cities, and they could be a majority white, they could be majority black, majority Hispanic, or whatever. And it's not that these folks are racist, it's that they don't know. So how do we move and get the kinds of things that we want in America and around the world? We talked about it through the building of relationships. I don't care what color you are, I've got to be able to build a relationship with you in order for me to grow. And I do a lot of speaking and a lot of consulting for families across the country. And I'll never forget this one family, this one lady called me from Mayport, Florida, up there by Jacksonville. I used to be stationed there. And she said, James, I've got two sons. One is an 8-year-old and one is a 10-year-old. And she said anything bad that happened in Mayport, she knew her two sons had to be involved somehow. I'm like, golly. She said, will you come down and consult with us? Yes, I'll come on down. But I went down there and they said they saw in the newspaper where there was a pastor that was real good at disciplining youth. And she asked her husband, can we take the boys to the pastor? Yes, call the pastor. The pastor says, yes, bring them in, but I want you to bring them in one at a time. Bring me the 8-year-old boy first. The 8-year-old boy comes into the office, he sits down in the chair, and the pastor says, where is God? Little boy doesn't say anything. Second time he says a little bit louder, where is God? Still doesn't say anything. Third time he sticks his finger in his face and he says, where is God? That little boy runs out of that office, he runs straight home, and he goes into his closet and he sits down. And his 10-year-old brother comes in and he said, man, what's wrong with you? He said, boy, are we in trouble now. He said, God is missing and they think we took him. Them boys, they ain't need me down in Mayport.
Good afternoon. My name is Sam Hines and I'm an executive search consultant, and I had the pleasure of witnessing James Amps speak this evening, and I like the theme of his speech because it dealt with networking, it dealt with people reaching far beyond their comfort zone, it dealt with personal achievement and excellence. And that's one thing that I am very, very interested in.
I've never seen a keynote speaker before that I've actually wanted to listen to. A lot of times keynote speakers are boring, but this was very entertaining, very involved, and he spoke to us, and he spoke with us, not at us, and that was really important to me, so I really appreciated the presentation.
My name is Mary Thomas. I'm from Glaze Middle School. I thought the speaker today was phenomenal. I was sitting at my table. I was talking to some of the people that were there, and I said to myself, man, would I love for him to come home with me and talk to my kids. He was such a motivational speaker. I'm here purchasing one of his books. I'm going to have it autographed. I'm going to take it home, and I'm going to have my sons to read it. Thank you, Mr. Amps, for such a wonderful presentation.
Hello, my name is Dr. Jones, Dr. Denise Bonnet Jones. I'm so glad that I attended this event today because what Mr. Amps said really hit home. I have the education, I have the experience, I have the work ethic. However, I do not know how to take advantage of social groups and social networking. So I'm here to learn that. This is one area, along with technology, along with public speaking, that I need to work on and improve in my life so I could take my life to the next level. Mr. Amp really helped me highlight the things that I need to work on in my life so I could become a better overall professional. Thank you so much for your speech today. It really touched my heart and my life.